Hello, I'm Boater, just as surprised about having a second episode as you are. Let's cook something. Today we are going to be making pork chops and mustard sauce. You may have noticed that said from Personal Trainer Cooking. I do not profess to be a master chef who is making up these recipes for you. I am simply giving you meal ideas. Nintendo, if you are pissed off that I did this, let me know and I'll take it down. I have something very special for you all. I plan on at some point getting a station in front here to do my meat cutting and such on so that you can see that. But until I get that, I would like to introduce my newest cast member, the ingredient board!
Hello, Boater. Good to be here.
Okay, ingredient board, what are we going to need for today's recipe?
4 to 6 boneless pork chops.
I typically like to get thin sliced pork chops, 6 of those when I'm cooking for 2 people instead of 4 regular sized pork chops, because that means 2 are left for lunch the next day. Eating less.
Get on with it.
Okay, go.
1 cup heavy cream.
Ingredient board is a lot neater than I am.
You are invading my personal space.
Okay.
2 tablespoons mustard seed.
Mustard seed.
2 teaspoons lemon juice.
Lemon juice. I don't have anything witty to say about it. Let's get started. New knife. Kids, what did I say last episode? Use a parent. Alright, a very important thing that I only mentioned once last episode, but really anytime you touch the meat, not just before or after using the spices, always wash your hands. It was especially important with the chicken before, but any raw meat can be really icky and disgusting and really, really unhealthy. So, wash your hands. The first thing you're going to do is score the meat. It's got these thick pieces of fat along the edge here.
Hang on a second. I love how you told everybody about knife safety, and you're talking with the knife.
You see this fat strip of fat along the edge here. You can remove that if you want, but I mean it does have some flavor. At the very least, you're going to cut little slits in the side. If you don't do that, it's one piece, and that is going to want to shrink a lot more than your meat will. So it's going to make your meat kind of do this, and it's going to get nice and cooked around the edges and not so much on the inside. Oh my god, that is a good knife. I'm so used to a terrible knife that I basically sliced.
Yeah, I know, you sliced the damn thing in half. Thank you, IKEA.
IKEA, we love your stuff. Will you pay for our defense if Nintendo sues us? I'm used to having to just like.
Yeah,
this is like
good knife.
Yeah.
Told you the knife was good.
You did not say how good. You just said it's good. Washing hands. Next, we're gonna push our magic make meat better button. Salt and pepper. 1 hand spices, 1 hand meat. Don't need to use too much. If you see a big glop of white or black on your pork chop, it's probably a bit too much. Try to scrape it off and toss it on another. That's what I'm talking about.
You're eating that one.
No, that one. It's spreading the love. Yeah. Spread that love. Washing the hands. So once you're all done, take your cutting board and remove it from the stove. It may not be an oven, but it can be just as hazardous to its health. Get a large frying pan. Are you getting both?
Yep.
Awesome. No Dutch required. Take canola oil, vegetable oil, whatever you got. Lightly.
That wasn't light.
That was light enough. Just enough to coat the bottom of the pan, if that. We're gonna bring that to medium heat. You can drop your pork chops in right now. Just know that first. Okay, sorry. The first side is going to cook a little slower than the second side. That's fine, so long as you're keeping an eye on it. Whenever you're placing anything in oil, yes, I just started this up, but whatever, let's say, if it was already heated up, make sure you always place the meat in away from you. When this gets hot, you won't know it because oil has this weird aversion to bubbling when it gets as hot as water would when it bubbled, but it can still be really dangerous. So if I was to say do it towards me, it could all of a sudden splash hot oil all over my body. Fun fact, boiling oil was used in medieval times to
kill people.
Okay, granted it wasn't canola oil, not using the meat hand, but it was still kind of unpleasant. So just get it so that the oil is all in your business. Cool. with something like this, you're going to want a side dish. I typically do mashed potatoes or stuffing. I'm not going to instruct you how to do the side dish because tonight, my side dish is something that I throw in the microwave for a while. I don't need to tell you how to do that. 2 minutes, open up the thing and do it for another 2 minutes and rock on. Let's go back there. Okay, so we're coming back to our pork chops. And remember how I mentioned that if you left the fat on the side unscored, it would have curled in. We can kind of see on some of them that the middle is coming up further. So just make sure you keep pushing that down so that you get even contact on the entire bottom of the pork chop. And once it starts to look like this, you can go ahead and flip it as well. Or not left-handed. Now because I put this in here while the oil was not warmed up, it's going to cook a little faster on this side now that it's getting kind of fizzy and bubbly. It's spraying on me. So just keep a close eye on this and you're going to see that the second side cooks a lot faster than the first. When you're done, you can use a meat thermometer or you can just cut it through. Make sure that there's no pink in your pork chop because while it's not as bad as chicken, pork can still be kind of nasty if it's undercooked. You are in my show, fly. Get out. This is disgusting. Get a I think it worked. While those are finishing cooking up, get a plate and some foil. I think that's aluminum foil.
Yes, it's always aluminum.
It is aluminum foil. People say tin foil. I don't know. It's aluminum foil. Aluminium foil. Aluminum foil. Because you're going to take those out when they're done and you want to keep them warm. Put them on a plate, put the tin foil over them. They stay a little warmer while you're doing your sauce, which is the next step. Once you see that the pork chops are getting a little bit darker brown, you can go ahead and remove them from the heat and put them on your plate. I've got 4 here that are getting towards that nice darkish brown, and 2 that haven't gotten there yet because I don't know how to center a frying pan on a heating element. Another benefit to bringing it off to the plate instead of going straight into whatever is that it allows some of the grease to come out of it. We're trying to pretend to be healthy. Next step, we've still got a fair amount of cooking oil and grease that's left in here. Wait for it to stop bubbling and such. We are going to be using this pan again. Let's at least sop up most of what's there. So let's get some paper towels. Just kind of fold it up, put it into the
Tongs.
Tongs, thank you. I was going to call them pincers. Put them back in your tongs. Just sop up what's there because you're about to start making a cream sauce with mustard in it that should be pretty delicious. And it would be less than delicious if all of that was in it. And then just bring this over to your garbage can and do away with it. Okay, so now that that's cleared out, we're going to go ahead and start making our sauce. So go ahead and put your cup of cream in there. So we're doing our 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, roughly. I might have called for 3 originally, but a little citrusy for me. Not making a mess. And our roughly 2 tablespoons. I'm going to do 1.5 tablespoons. The extra little jumpers would have gone in that it's almost 2. Anyway, so cool. Go ahead and bring your heat back up to medium-low. Everything's going to start mixing around using, you can help it along, use a spoon or something and just kind of mix it up. And it's going to mix.
Stop making a mess.
Stir very gently. If you want, after you stir it a little, go ahead and just, after you've washed your hand, and then wash your hand afterward. And just taste how it's coming along. If it tastes too citrusy, probably shouldn't use as much lemon juice, but as it keeps heating up, some of that taste will go away.
Simmering?
Simmering, thank you. These people that know cooking terms. Your sauce will be ready. 2 indicators. 1, it's going to start bubbling just a little. And 2, you're going to see that the yellow color of the mustard seed is beginning to sort of come off and get into your cream sauce, although actually it looks like it was a little yellow to begin with. So when it starts bubbling, you're starting to see a little bit of action in there. So let's go ahead and transfer our pork chops back into the sauce. As you can see, actually, as I start to put this in, we're getting a little bit of boiling action in the middle there. And again, using a plate helped you get rid of some of that extra grease. So, grease is bad. Alright, after they're sitting in there for a minute, go ahead and just flip your pork chops over. We can definitely see the sort of bubbling, boiling action that we're getting. For each person, I figure a couple pork chops. That heat should be off now. A couple pork chops and some of your side. In this case, are microwaved mashed potatoes. The nice thing about this recipe is that you end up with a lot of that sauce afterward. So then you can take it and put it over your side as well. Maybe a little bit of extra over there. Oh yeah, that looks tasty. And on our potatoes too. And we've got dinner. A very yellow, monochromatic dinner, but still tasty. I mentioned before that we had 6 pork chops cooking for 2 people, put 2 on your plate. What I like to do, I think I already said it, is to have your last 2, put them into leftover containers pretty much as soon as they've cooled down, because otherwise you're going to eat and you're going to be like, I'm still hungry. Whereas if you don't already have the food there ready for you, then you'll be set. So once again, pork chops in mustard sauce, thanks to Nintendo for not suing me. Feel free to leave a comment with any recommendations that you might have. I probably won't be able to do them, but I'll try. Why not? Have fun eating. I need a catchphrase at the end.